I'm Lane Giebers. I'm with Frontier Basement Systems, and we're from the Middle Tennessee area. And I'm actually up here in Seymour, Connecticut at the international headquarters of Basement Systems, and I'm here with Larry Janeski, the founder of Basement Systems. And we're actually standing in front of a mocked-up crawl space here, Larry.
Yeah.
So what kind of problems do we see with crawl spaces?
Well, let me ask you, in Tennessee, did you ever crawl into a crawl space and look around and say, hey, it's pretty nice down here, right?
When we get done with them.
Yeah, when we get done with them. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're pretty nasty, moldy, bug-infested, rodent-infested, smelly spaces, right?
Right.
Okay, so the problem really is twofold. It's moisture, and then we continue to let unconditioned air in the house through vents. And at the time that these houses were built, we thought that we can leave dirt exposed in a crawl space floor. We thought that might be a good idea in houses. That was a terrible idea. And then we said, all right, so the moisture that comes up from the earth needs to be vented out. So we put vents around the perimeter of the crawl space to try to vent the moisture out. But the problem is if we continue to let unconditioned air into a crawl space, we can never get control of the crawl space environment. So the solution is to, first of all, solve any groundwater seepage problem that we have in the crawl space.
So that's step one.
That's step one.
Groundwater, we want to take care of it in a couple different ways. We want to make sure that if it's a basically flat system, that we can use drainage piping and grading and that type of thing and bring it all to one area, and then basically install one of our sump systems that we have.
Right, and we have a sump system called the Smart Sump that's designed specifically for crawl spaces. There's several different variations we can talk with the homeowner about for what's best for their crawl space. And then the second step is to isolate the house from the earth. So in other words, we uncouple the impact of the earth with the house environment by installing the Clean Space crawl space encapsulation system.
And this is that white material that we're looking at here then, correct?
Right, and it is a very heavy liner, like a pool liner, that we line your crawl space with across the floor and up the walls. And of course we have an option for insulating the basement walls as well.
You see a lot of times that people say that, okay, well, I'm supposed to cover the ground. Why would I want to go up the walls?
A lot of moisture comes through the walls, and block walls are usually the material of choice for crawl spaces. And as we know, they're one big honeycomb of airspace inside. Air comes through from the outside, moisture comes through from the earth, and so we definitely want to put a vapor barrier on the walls. And if we can get some R value and put some insulation on the walls at the same time, we do that with our Silver Glow insulation. And Silver Glow provides a very high R value and also has a radiant barrier to reflect heat back into the house as well.
Okay, so that's step two.
That's step two.
So step
And there's
three?
only 4 steps now,
okay.
So there's not a million.
So we're halfway there then?
We're halfway there.
Okay, so step three.
Step 3 is to seal all the outside air off. So if you have vents, they need to be sealed up. We don't need vents anymore. We want to get control of the indoor environment. That means we need to keep the uncontrolled outside environment out. We cover vents. We seal holes in the rim joist, in the sill plate, in the top of the block wall. Anywhere where outside air can get into that crawl space needs to be sealed off. In the summertime, we have warm, humid air outside, and when we bring that air, or the house sucks that air in, because houses, they suck air in at the bottom and blow air out at the top. So in the summertime, we're sucking warm, humid air in from the outside. We're cooling it because it's below grade space, it's cool. We're cooling it and squeezing it for every 1 degree that we cool the air. We raise the relative humidity by 2.2%. And mold grows over 70% relative humidity. And if you've got 60% relative humidity outside, you can be up to 100% relative humidity in a hurry by cooling that air. So we need to keep the outside air out.
So that's why we're seeing underneath the ductwork that it's like a little river underneath each one of those where the condensation is so heavy there.
That's right. Air is a very efficient way to move water. When we warm air, it increases its ability to hold water. When we squeeze the air, when we cool it, we squeeze it and we release that moisture out. So yeah, a lot of condensation problems in crawl spaces. So we need to keep the outdoor air out.
Okay. That's step 3.
That's step 3.
So I have one left.
One left, and that is to dehumidify.
Okay.
And so knowing that a building is an imperfect structure with lots of cracks and holes and joints and porous materials in it, if we want to ensure that mold doesn't stand a chance in your crawl space and that there's no way you're going to have a musty, damp space, then we have a perfect machine to do that with. It's called the SaniDry CX crawl space air system.
And so that's a dehumidifier, then that actually gets installed in the crawl space?
Gets installed in the crawl space. It's possible it can be installed in an adjacent space. It could be in an upstairs utility room or a garage, and the air be ducted in and out of the crawl space. But usually we're located in the crawl space, nothing the homeowner has to empty. Very energy efficient, gets a tremendous amount of water out of the crawl space air on very little electricity, and it'll do the job for you.
Okay, so those are our 4 steps.
That's right.
So basically we're getting rid of the groundwater.
Right?
Then we're going after and isolating the
Isolating
ground.
the house from the earth so we don't have moisture from the earth.
Then we want to make sure that we've sealed all the cracks and crevices and holes and everything of where air can leak into it, because we're talking about the air coming in that really doesn't vent out like everybody thinks it does.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the next is dehumidify it.
Dehumidify, and our company and your company provides this service worldwide to hundreds of customers every day. We know that we are pioneers in fixing vented dirt crawl spaces. In fact, we invented many patents on these products that we use, and as you know, and we'd be very happy to help anyone in the Middle Tennessee area. What should somebody do if they need to get more information on this?
All they need to do is call Frontier Basement Systems. We'll do a thorough inspection of what the crawl space looks like, and then give you a list of remedies of what we can do.
Excellent.
Get them taken care of.
Great. Thanks, Lane.
Thank you.